In this video today, I'm going to talk about debt, paying it off, the struggles that we can have financially. Enjoy! What's going on, peeps? My name is Chris and I love everything to do with the mind, the human being, and self-development. So anything that I can do to provide any tools, tips, advice, learnings, experience, perspectives, anything I can that can help you on your journey throughout life. Now, this one's going to be a bit of a share, but I feel like a lot of people go through these points in life where they have debt that they're trying to pay off, and that they can feel that they are stuck at times with it. Some people have different factors within this relationship with their money, and I guess it's essentially what it comes down to with our relationship with money, or that the relationship that we've had with money in the past. Now, when I was younger, I used to, buy the things kind of that I wanted and stuff like that, because I worked and I'd go out and spend stupid money on the weekend, partying and stuff like that. And it wasn't really providing value to me doing the same thing every weekend like that. But, as we get older, we learn, we realize. Then I know that a lot of people don't go down this path, but I had a credit card and I used it for emergencies. And then an emergency became not an emergency, and it would start growing. And it wasn't that I was using it like buying expensive things. I was using it to buy things that cost small amounts, like a book here, a book there, maybe something for the house that's small. And that built up over time. Then I used to work in the bank for like 10 years, in the banking world. And what I found was I worked out all the kind of little things you can get around to navigate having credit cards and stuff like that. So this one's a really good one. So you can do something that's called a balance transfer. You transfer your credit card balance to another card, find a institution that's got 0% interest, and then they cancel your current card. So that way you get 0%, you don't have to pay the full amount of interest. Now, I did that up until I left the corporate world and started my own business. And then I started buying stuff on the credit card because I was like, well, it's for my business, my personal training business. And that built up. And when you go from working in a corporate environment to self-employed, it's very kind of unlikely that you can do those balance transfer shifts straight away. You need to show money over time and stuff like that. So what essentially happened is I ended up not being able to do it. I accrued a lot of money, and I ended up in, something between 16 and 20 grand over the years. This was going back like 4 or 5 years ago now. And then that was a burden. I used to be one of those people that used to go out, buy people drinks all the time, buy cocktails for people, buy gifts for people, la la la. And going through this stopped me from doing that. And it also stopped me from having a bit more of a lifestyle, because I was so worried about, the money that I was spending, the money that I wanted to save to go overseas, or the money that I needed to pay off. And it became really, really frustrating. It affected my social life. It affected my relationship that I was in. It affected, the amount of times I could feel that I could go visit my mom, or, go out to dinner with people and stuff like that. So I became very isolated within that respect as well. And it just felt like a total weight on my shoulders. And I let it. So, over the years, I paid out everything. At the end of last year, I was all paid out. So I cannot tell you the feeling that I had that lasted for a moment. But the ongoing feeling that I have from that now is realizing that, I'm able to give more, I'm able to, be comfortable and not worry about it. So what would happen, some of the things that would happen would be, I would start getting major anxiety over, like, I'd go to the airport, my bag would be over the limit and they were going to charge me an extra $50, and I'd start stressing out over $50, sometimes like $20 I'd stress over. It's like, that's an extra $20. I'm like, that's not really that much in the grand scheme of things and everything like that. It's just when it became something that was unexpected, it really affected me. And then, shifted that with some different sessions, and then it shifted a bit. So that wasn't, I didn't used to get anxiety over that anymore, but I still had that same, like, had to grind out to get this stuff all paid off. Now, being that, a lot of people that I speak to, a lot of people that I'm friends with, they may have a tiny bit of debt or a bit of debt, or maybe they're in complete control. The thing with credit cards are like one of those things. It's like, I get what people say that don't use them. It's like, nah, if I've got the money, I'll pay for it. I also understand that having one's good for emergencies, but purely for that reason. And sometimes we can indulge ourselves, and I guess sometimes, it's about learning that self-discipline, which is one of the most important skills, lessons, and anything else that you can think of that we, should be able to take on. That doesn't mean you have to be self-disciplined all the time with everything in your life, because that would be, you're not a monk, okay? If you want to go be one, cool, but, So, what I found about myself, like going through this whole thing, was the thoughts that would come up to me, like, these thoughts of unworthiness, these thoughts of comparing myself to other people, these thoughts that I wasn't doing enough in certain situations, that I was living in a idea that I could spend more than I had coming in. This was like in the beginning of it, without realizing. And I know everyone goes through their lessons and everything like that, but once I was able to, really kind of focus in on, okay, well, what do I want to do to move forward? And that was, I wanted to do a course, which I'm doing now, but I refused to have any debt to pay for it. I didn't want to take a loan out for it. I didn't want to do their loan for it or whatever like that, because I didn't want to pay the extra money, because I was like, no, that's just me getting into that same pattern. So I didn't. And what I did was I paid out all my stuff last year. So what I did was I paid out all my stuff last year, and I felt good. I felt weight's being lifted, okay. And then, at the same time, I was also saving as well, because once you start seeing money kind of grow, it actually really starts kind of making you feel, oh, okay, like I'm building something up here. More energy, yeah? And I was doing that while I was paying stuff off. Like, the more I'd pay off, the more I'd kind of save as well. And now, just rolling through with savings and spending money, wiser, it's just made me feel way more in control of my money. Now, in saying that, I do understand that, there's some debts that people have been struggling with, and that, that may be out of their control for this moment, especially in the times that we're living in now. But I didn't want to make this just about the money aspect. I wanted to make it about the thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself, that you feel when you go through these things. You're not those thoughts. Those feelings, are they valid? It's just money. Yeah, I get it. We need money to survive and everything like that. But are we operating a lot of the time from how we want to survive and what lifestyle we want? or how to actually survive. Because literally all we need is a place to stay, pay rent, pay mortgage, food, transport if you need it to get to work. And one of the things that I realized in the beginning of the whole pandemic thing is how little I could actually live on. And that's still being like healthy and everything like that. So if I cut that down to its minimalist level, I could live a lot less. You know, I could definitely live a lot less. But I choose to eat like, you know, healthy meals and la la la. So I really want to kind of reiterate that you are not those thoughts. Don't do what I did. Don't isolate yourself because you were paying. You can do things without money. So many things you can do without money. It's just that we lose, you know, the idea sometimes. Well, that's what I lost. I lost the idea that I could. And that would make me, you know, stay home and do nothing. Whereas I could just go out and socialize. Missed out on so many dinners, missed out on birthdays, and those are never coming back. But that's okay, because I learned the greatest lessons, and I will continue to learn. And the lessons, they don't just come and go, they stay with you. So it doesn't matter where you're at with it, you'll learn, you'll grow. Those thoughts that you have, if they are about the money stuff, they're just thoughts. Money is just energy. It's not really real when you think about it. It's just numbers on a screen really now. Minus, plus. Doesn't define who you are. The idea that we have in our society of that money defines us, not true. In driving, I've met a lot of people. I've spoken to a lot of people with a lot of money. And I've had a lot of people that have had that lot of money be like, I got rid of all my money. I got rid of the big house that I had. Now I live in a small apartment, don't have a flashy car. And I just invest my money to things that I think like are meaningful. So when we chase that idea that money is, you know, going to be the be all and end all, you're not going to reach it and be like so happy and everything like that. I thought once I paid off everything, I would feel like, you know, Super Saiyan or like just in love with everything. It was a real short moment. I felt good, I felt proud, I worked really hard, I put in the hours and I got it done. And it just was another little notch on my belt, another little step forward. It's okay to chip away at it. No matter how big, how small, you chip away, you can chip away at it. So the guy who, what is that, David's Michelangelo, you know that statue everyone knows about. The way he saw statues was he would talk about, like, you know, he would see the block and he'd be like, I'm just revealing the statue that's already in there by chipping away at it. So what can you do today to chip away at your little statue? No matter how big you bang and how big or small the chips come out, chip away at it if you can. Chip away at it. Makes a difference. Not only does it make a difference in the balance, it makes a difference in the mind. And when you start creating more positive beliefs and self-discipline around it and accomplishment, achievement, you'll shift your relationship. Something to think about. So as always, peeps, you know the deal. There is a smiley face right here. This is what you should do to make someone smile today. I don't know how you would do that to make someone smile today. Maybe if you share the video, I have no idea. Maybe, you know, down the bottom. But you know, something so small can make a huge difference in someone's life. Something so small can make a huge difference. Keep on keeping on. Go gently. Much love, keep on wondering, keep doing you. Peace.